Dark Zero in Dreamland, you're gonna know to deal with, but they might swap reset here. Hopeful getting at least something going here. Mello does get a pick, but it's gonna be a little too late, and really shout out there to the Terror Cape that gets things looking good for Nemesis as they just strolled right up, but then yeah, things can quickly go away. And if you look at the ult charge,
with his clone right up on the high ground, the Phoenix ultimate right now as well, the end song Inferno before the Toad Slam
as White Queen does, and now they're looking comfortable, have all the ults ready to go, but this does give time for Nemesis to charge up what they have into what is going to be the offense of a Groot ult going into potentially that Kraken impact.
Remember when that vertical grab box out first from Tones, but a nice Groot wall is going to help out Team Nemesis without forcing them to burn out any other strategist ultimates. The final judgment online for a Radiant here as the Cloak and Dagger Eternal Bond is ready to try to keep Noir alive.
Yeah, the Hunter turned into the Hunted there. Great pick to open things up really fast here. Now Ricky
build up some more of that ultimate.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta say, 762 as Black Panther absolutely could dominate. And Black Panther usually the one disrupting team fights early, but getting that pick, Ricky, really set up the team for success there. And Nemesis just playing full aggression, already pushing in.
Pulls up on this high ground, does the animation cancel, the attack cancel rather. Kraz looking to try to hail down. A Madian had now swapped over to that Ultron while Hopeful tries to get away.
Yeah, Hopeful is the telepathic takeover, just absolutely reading minds and erasing health bars. Going in, Melophobic does get the uppercut and get some...
Kraz before he's able to use the Groot ultimate.
Yeah, Coach coming up clutch with these Terror Capes, and even with an amazing push there from Mello, they were able to get the point stalled. That's going to be massive to slow down. I mean, they barely even got up that hill. Vic, that's going to be a tough thing to make up. He did damage, and he is going to be the ticket that gets him through this point. 762 joining the team. We do have Loki now on Noirs, getting the defense up early. Good patience by Nemesis not to use everything up at once. This is going to have to be a Groot ult for the ages. He throws it down.
Point to finally get to the second checkpoint, but talk about staggering those ultimates. Nice little stop, but too little, too late. Unfortunately, as Noir cannot keep it contested, the Venom goes down, and now Team Nemesis is already creating space.
We've seen Nemesis really come from behind plenty of time.
Coolest insight as Kraz holds up. Mello and Scatter Genji, they've now swapped over to the triple Vanguard for this last point, and they have their ultimates online.
Oh my gosh, the Haunted Woods coming at it here now, giving them plenty of space to push forward. Tones trying to...
As Ricky shows another KO here onto Coach, making a 2K here as Scatter moves all the way up alongside Kraz, and they're pushing them into their spawn room gates. Nobody left here to contest on the point.
The Vanguard disrespect is working out.
The copy in the form of the Cloak and Dagger and the Eternal Bond. Phoenix does the same thing, except it's in the invisible boundary, lasting a little bit less than that Eternal Bond instead, but you have to avoid the Psionic Seduction as Ricky keeps everybody alive. Great timing by the endpoint of Kanya and that God of Mischief, but is it enough to deal with the final judgment?
Stop.
Oh, man, they're even still stalling here, too. They have really nothing. 762 is going to come out on the Wolverine with just a last Hail Mary. Push here looks like can he even touch the point as Team Nemesis are walking the dog. They contest right on time as Tones makes a desperate swap over to the Captain America just for that mobility, but they still have to deal with the Madian and the Ultron Exterminator. As the Doctor Strange portal comes out now from Noir, and get the jump! Onto Dinks! You caught him lacking. The favorite Loki spot, especially on this map, as Dinks is taken out from the equation.
Holy golden god of elimination there. Just the triple tap and elim.
Nemesis alive while Dinks comes right back in and now has the God of Mischief to add.
Absolutely. And we've just seen this, Vicky. The Groot MO with triple support is just such a solid combo time and time again, and very hard to stop, especially when you have someone like...
They knew it was coming. They knew it hadn't been used before.
Mello just...
Available to him too, but wants to find a low opponent first. Could work out as Toads now finds Kraz on the other side, as Hopeful keeps Noir alive.
Wow, great hook there on 762. And, you know, listen, what's scarier than Magic and Darkchild is with a jet bubble and being that much...
Better late than never, as they say, as Team Nemesis approaching this next fight. 5 ultimates. You could really make it 6 with the damage output that Mello has been putting on. Crash just waiting for the opportunity, and Noir do have Venom no more as Mello claims the head of Coach right at the beginning of the Eternal Bond. Ricky comes in throwing hands, gets the push onto Tones. This duelist role, whether it be the Torch, whether it be now on the Bucky, it's having that flexibility, and Mello's still proving to be the threat that he is. Now going into this next round though, Noir does have 762 Tones with their ultimate online, but we did also just see Coach get taken down at the very start of the animation of the Eternal Bond.
Yeah, we'll have to see if they go in with the... And that just all but shuts down 762 in the Dark Child, right? Can't do anything when you are absolutely seducted by Mother there in the ultimate. We've got now Amadian with the quick pick on Jeff. Massive here, trying to keep Dinks alive. Great follow-up and peel. Amadian showing why he's different now as Scatter pushing in, and it is just all Team Nemesis right now.
Konya is just getting shut down. I mean, we saw it on the Loki. Now it's happening to the Jeff. Now Mello claims
Kraken impact, forcing them an extermination to follow. They're going to get the team wipe here.
Oh, no. It's a shish kebab. A Mello shish kebab. The Scatter here coming in. Mello following up. Mello had the Wombo combo lined up with the Strangling Prison. I mean, how do you live through that? And that was right after Konya had made the swap over to the Loki. So that's going to delay the ult charge.
The Season 2 MRC, so that's how we're seeing this new team together. And, you know, it's interesting, Buff. Bucky did get that buff, and Loki getting the nerf. I wonder if we see less Loki in Ignite, and that's going to make maybe Winter Soldier a little less viable, because we're seeing him feast on these clones, and there goes the shields up, and everyone alive and healthy as we've seen them be with Nemesis. Now they're just, oh my gosh, punched in the storm, 762. Come to bargain and just completely won the deal there. Strange getting it done, and the finished job of Nemesis. I mean, dominant really from start to finish on these first two maps, Vic. And listen, when you have best of 5, you have time to reset. We've seen reverse sweeps happen. I think actually Noir is famous for the reverse sweeps, but Nemesis, they just seem so locked in.
It's scary. It's scary. Finds Hopeful, giving him a taste of his own medicine.
What an insane, easy comeback there again. Konya just playing a survival game, getting picked off from Scatter and showing, just look at everybody wants a piece of the pie, Vicky. If it wasn't Scatter, every single name showing up on the Olymp feed. Legitimately, I think we...
And more than those two ultimates alone.
Yeah, minute 24 seconds left. They put all their focus on Kraz, who then just ulted, right? And got rid of all that effort. Was able to go right back up to 1,000. And then Hopeful, I mean, we got to see Hopeful get a pick here. Mello just getting that diff once again happening now as the team's pushing in. We're going to see everything launch at the same time. Undefeatable going to get the pick in here to Noir. And we have the, oh, Dinks matching that easily. And everything is, every color is shown here. It is New York on New York.
Everyone's getting taken out though here. Now Noir with the rest of Hopeful and close to that Endsong Inferno. You won't need until that next choke. They're able to get the point moving. Team Nemesis now look for that reset.
Oh man, just a breath of relief there as they were able to get it with no time on the clock. And great job there. Just really ults, re-ults. Mello with the oh my goodness.
Mello, another shutdown. Amadian's gonna match that. Hopeful is off the table. Iffy close to having that clobber in time, but you won't have a team to help you out as it's 3 out here from Noir and Team Nemesis looking fantastic. This is exactly why you saw Noir ban out that No More earlier too.
Mello was put to sleep and Amadian could have woken him up, and they're like, nah, let's just leave him asleep. Gave him a little wave and moved on. Absolutely some teammate.
Onto Mello buys enough time for Noir to at least clear that space over by the bottom side of the stairs.
Hopeful now trying to get the picks, and really that's been the difference. Hopeful's been able to get a couple picks to open up the lanes. Obviously we're coming from a 0 elimination game from them, so love to see the step up here as Nemesis has everything they need to get the stop. 55 seconds. You've got both support ults, you've got the Whale, the Phoenix. They're looking good to get
the rest of Noir. We're able to regroup after that.
I'm glad you point out Coach. I think Coach has done an insane job in the strategist position. And we're seeing, you know, Coach, like you said, you didn't want to call them heel bots, but they were kind of stuck in that role. And now Coach is able to do what they do best, and that's shine to what we saw with the Terror Capes. Now with Mantis, can do it on any hero here, as now they're going to look to hold back a Team Nemesis that is definitely kind of fueled up right now after what is, I'm sure, a disappointing hold, but looks so promising.
See what trying to set up these squids, and they're essentially wrapping up around Noir like a sandwich.
Spinning the Triton, throwing it right into Hopeful's face, eliminating. Now we've got the show going on. Canoe trying to keep the team up as they push around this corner. Kraz taking a quick nap here from Coach, but throwing Coach into oblivion afterwards, slamming down. Oh my God! Somebody call the Marvel police here as he's just taking down strategies to grapple. Can he get a hook? He's landed so many, Vicky.
Smile, can't wait. That's going to be very fun here, especially if you're Team Nemesis on Mello's team. Talk about the damage output. Look at this. Tones literally have to jump right back after he just poked one toe through that choke arcway, as Dinks very close, has that Fate of Both Worlds just to be able to reset in case they try to push into space. But here you go with Amadian being the first one out.
From a Nemesis, it will maybe get a little anti-heal action for the first time, Vic.
I don't know how I feel about this though, Cozy. Is this going to be the change that they need? I mean, it doesn't look like it because the damage output is too much right now. And 762 doesn't have an ultimate in line, doesn't have a teammate to help lean on him. Konya gets taken out. 762 forced to back away as Team Nemesis are walking the dog with this payload.
Oh my gosh, these Vanguards, between Kraz and Scatter, just playing such...
We saw those swap ups, but now Team Nemesis, though, on the defense, they still have that extra time bank. Yes, it's 58 seconds, but we know how much those few extra seconds count.
Yeah, 58 is a ton. I mean, you could just play completely more aggressive in nature and farming ults, and all of that is just going to set a big difference. Whereas one team has to play perfect, one has a little bit of leniency. And it took, Noir the entire clock last time. So a minute, yep, that's a little bit shorter here. So they're pushing it immediately. Amadian throwing down the squids, slowing things. Full is dazed as well. And so now not able to use the Kraken impact. Coach using the show to keep the momentum going for this team. But that's going to allow Kraken impact to farm for Mello. First one goes down. Hopeful doesn't land. Vic Dinks getting a clap. Trades with Coach.
The fact that you got grappled out of your Kraken impact, by the way, Coach, without being in sight, Kanye making that desperate swap over to... Oh, they're not going to expect this right now. Get ready here, hunkering down. They ain't even see it coming. And talk about the timing to pull their attention away from the portal. Look at these two different angle setups. They're literally covering both of their exit routes, so that way they're stuck in the line of sight of the turret and in the front line of Team Nemesis. What a beautifully executed portal play into that turret from the Punisher to allow Team Nemesis to win.
Having a 2 to 3 rotation is what you want to really see with some of the duelists, and 762 could play them all, right? But the play there, we get Magic, and we'll have to see how that pans out in Season 4 is when we are going to see that team next. But yeah, great job overall. Good momentum changer, but Nemesis